It's Thursday, October 24th, and this is Drive Check, a Cardfight Vanguard podcast. Brought to you by the generosity of our patrons, including Mewwill, Alan Camacho, Sheehan, and Wesley Welch. You know what's the real question of where have you gone?
What?
I went to the LGS local game store for myself this evening because me and my friends, including Robert, Stephen, Cameron, Greg, yes, that Greg, Vince, and Daniel are going to do a pack league. So I went to the LGS. We're starting on Sunday and bought 3 boxes.
What?
Of Magic the Gathering cards.
3 boxes?
Well, so then each person can have enough packs to start building a deck from.
I thought a pack league is you buy, you take a Planeswalker deck or whatever you decide to start with, and then you buy,
you could
packs.
do it that way too, yes. But they are very impatient, and they were like, we were going to have Commander Day at Robert's house on Sunday anyways. So then they're like, well, let's do the pack thing that you talked about. I was like, all right. So, but the thing is, I bought 3 different boxes. One was Core Set 20.
Okay.
That's nice, good staples to have in there. I'm not going to say because I bought another one as a surprise for everybody as a gift. Can you guess what it is?
Theros.
Theros, is that currently available?
Yeah.
No, Theros is the set that's coming out next, dude.
No, that's the Return to Theros set.
Oh.
But Theros, okay, I'm gonna say why I brought up Theros.
Only things that are available in standard right now.
Eldraine?
Because that's all the store sells.
Throne of Eldraine?
I did buy an Eldraine. That is not the surprise. So the 2 that I bought that were planned to buy were Eldraine and Core 20. What was unfortunate was Eldraine costs a lot more than your usual box of Magic cards.
Wait. Why does it cost a lot more?
I have no idea. But it was $143, where Core 20 was $109.
Whoa, $143?
Yeah.
That's
it's because those Okos are going for that crazy wild prices.
Dude, I could have got you a box for like 100 and change, not 143.
Yeah, but they want it by Sunday.
Oh my God, okay.
You got to pay that price. I mean, for the shipping, it would have cost the same anyways. So can you put a guess in? It has to be legal for standard of what I bought as the gift surprise box for everyone.
War of the Spark.
That is available in standard. You are correct. But I'm not certain that that's something that I would actually buy.
Really?
That's not fun.
Are you kidding me? That sounds like a ton of fun. Everybody gets a Planeswalker in every pack.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been good.
That is the Planeswalker set. Sounds like a ton of fun.
Oh, I was kind of being a little more selfish because, I got into Magic with the what was it like? Was it the first Ravnica? What was the first Ravnica?
The very first Ravnica?
The one, from recently.
Oh, Guild of Ravnica.
Guild of Ravnica. So that's when I was like, well, let me get packs from something from before then that I haven't played. I could have gotten War of the Spark. I could have gotten Planeswalkers for everybody. Oh.
Next time.
They also didn't have box toppers for Core 20 and the surprise box. So they just gave me 3 of the box toppers for Throne of Eldraine. So I have 3 returned kings, which you can use for commander.
Yeah.
And it's a 5-color commander, I believe.
Yeah, it's a mono white but 5-color because it uses the other 4 colors in its effects.
Costs. Yeah.
It's super cool. I don't think it's good, but it's super cool.
Well, I mean, if you want to be a goofy commander, if you want to play happily ever after,
that's me.
You gotta have 5 colors.
That's me. I'll do that.
Oh.
But okay, so the reason I brought up the Theros is because Monday, Wizards of the Coast announced a brand new format called
the Pioneer format.
Pioneer, and that goes all the way back to the set that I first got into Magic. Well, technically, the first set that I got into Magic, which is Return to Ravnica. That was the second Ravnica block.
That was 2013, 2014, around that time?
Around that time, yeah. Yep.
So what makes the Pioneer format special other than they've created a new delineation of these cards are legal, these cards are not legal?
The set does not, or the format does not rotate. And so it's just like Legacy or Modern. It is only core booster boxes, so no supplementary sets like Conspiracy or Modern Horizons or anything like that. Also, they started out with only 5 bans, and those 5 bans are the fetch lands. The ones that you can, I forget exactly what they do, but they're really expensive, and they're pretty good cards. I don't remember exactly. They fetch other lands, I think, is what they...
Well, I mean, that's basically what they do.
Yeah, so you can't use those, but as of right now, everything is legal. So it's really like a nostalgia format, because you can go back and you can play standard decks from back in the day, but now they're just Pioneer decks. So that was pretty crazy, especially because some people had insider knowledge on the format beforehand. So they were buying out and reselling cards or buying out the cards that were going to be, part of Pioneer before it was officially announced, and then just jacking the prices up.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a big hubbub at my store about that. People were not happy. Like the math just didn't add up how they could have gotten the insider information.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Pioneer's pretty cool because Theros is part of that. So the entire Theros block is in there, and we're going back to Theros in this next set coming out in January. So I am really looking forward to actually maybe possibly trying this Pioneer format with some Theros, some gods and some heroes and some enchantments and some bestows and some devotions and satyrs.
Devotion, that's what everybody's excited for.
Yeah, because there's a lot of hints at devotion, or what's the keyword in Eldraine that kind of works well with devotion? Begins with an A. Advent.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Eldraine yet. So the thing about devotion is it's basically the number. Is it the number of converted mana costs, or just the number of cards of a color that you have out in the field?
Is
your devotion?
No, it's the symbols on your cards of that color.
Yeah, so it's part of the converted mana cost, but the unconverted portion of it.
It's the unconverted, the non-converted mana cost, correct.
So the deal with fetch lands, which it's a tricky thing and it's very subtle, is the fact that they basically it does some filtering because they're all multicolor, not in the cost, but in what they can retrieve for you. So like if you have a Esper Panorama, which is basically it is a fetch land that when you play it and sacrifice it, which you can you have to pay one and then tap it and sacrifice it. You can grab a plains, an island, or a swamp. So the thing to think about is if you can play the fetch land right away, you have now taken 2 cards out of your deck, and they're both lands. So you're unland jamming your deck.
Yes. Also, does it say basic lands?
Yes.
It does say basic lands?
Yes.
Okay. All right, because if it just said island, forest, and swamp, then you can grab non-basic lands with that. But yeah, so that's still pretty good. Like you're fixing your acceleration, or not acceleration.
Yeah,
but
I wonder why they're banned though. It's like
because they're
really
expensive.
that OP in that? Okay, but that's like whatever. Life is expensive. I just spent $400 on fancy cardboard. Oh, do you know the taxes in Minnesota? They don't tell you about those before you come here.
How much is sales tax down there?
Well, it varies, but on trading cards, it's 8.025%.
It varies
on what you're buying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, like taxable food items will have a 7% sales tax, but taxable, I guess, trading cards is 8%, and like clothing has no sales tax.
Really?
Non-taxable food items have no tax. Yeah.
That's weird, because like in Indiana, everything except for grocery and maybe like 1 or 2 other things didn't have sales tax or had sales tax. And then in Kentucky and Cincinnati, there's 2 different sales taxes depending on, what state you're in. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, pay attention to your receipts a little more and you'll see.
Anyway, Vanguard.
Well, no. I also wanted to talk. I played Commander last night.
Okay.
And I did not win. The first game was very painful because we were courteous to someone we did not know, allowed them to join into our game, which turned it into a 5-person game.
Oof.
And that person was very slow in their decision making and also a very quiet speaker. So it was hard to even know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then the second game, we only had 4 players. But I was playing Amanatu, and everybody decided to just go after me.
I don't. That.
Amanatu is not that good, people.
No, it's because you won last time. Remember? Now you got a target on your back.
Oh, I won with a pre-constructed, janky, Cool Stuff Inc. Commander deck that's meant for babies. And I brought my other one. I brought my Blue-Red Wizards tribal, well, not really tribal, but my Blue-Red Wizards Cool Stuff Inc. janky pre-con last night. And boy, that thing could have used some fetch lands because I had island. I was like, I need a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything without a mountain, but boy, I could not get a mountain into my hand. So other things. So Alan recorded a pack opening video he bought a pizza box of Raging Tactics.
Uh-huh.
He recorded a pack opening video.
Yep.
But he didn't say anything as he opened the packs.
It's like a sociopath.
It's literally just a video of somebody opening packs and making zero commentary on the cards that they pulled.
Yeah, so I haven't looked at it to see what I can do with it yet, but
I mean, you could do the commentary. Say,
you know
what you're thinking, what that Alan's thinking.
I might. That might be funny.
That might be funny.
Yeah, I might do that tomorrow. Ooh, but tomorrow's a pretty full day for me. I don't know.
So, also, the Atlanta Regionals happened.
Yes.
Bronson won. Came in first place.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely did.
Did he not?
He did not, no.
It seemed like he was doing real well for most of the day. He won in the handsome contest. How's about that?
Yeah, he was doing pretty good, but he couldn't hang on at the later end. One of my friends, Alex Wilson, who actually I want to get on the podcast eventually, ended up coming in, I think it was 15th or 7th, 15, 14, or 17. The numbers are mixed up in my head, but pretty up there. Right. Out of 500 people. By the way, it was 500
people.
Not
bad. Yeah, Atlanta Regionals tends to be pretty popular.
Yeah.
So
I could have gone too. Dang.
Well, dag nabbit.
Well, I mean, instead I decided to work, and because of that, I got like almost 40 hours.
So now you'll be able to come to PAX Unplugged, right?
No. I didn't put my time in, like, because that's in December, right?
Correct.
Yeah, no, good luck getting any time off. Although I did put in to get November 15th off. So we'll see.
Good.
And to get paid for that using my personal time. So,
Are you going to come up to my party?
well, I mean, I would
It's
absolutely love
only
to.
a 10-hour drive, dude.
And my car can't do more than 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, a lot of people in from my not regionals, but locals did really well. Fair amount of them were in like the 20 to 70 range. And Alex Bottoms, who we've talked about on the show, who's my Tachikaze.
A fine Link Joker fan as well.
Yeah,
yes.
my Tachikaze / Link Joker dude got 29th in premium with Great Nature. So
not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. And I think he hardly ever plays premium. So that's because like no one.
He's just a good player.
Yeah, no one around us really plays premium. A few people would like to play it, but we can't get enough to do like an actual premium night. So that's pretty good. And congratulations to everyone, and I'm very proud. Sad I couldn't come and join and boost their winning rates if they ever played against me, but it sounded like a really fun time.
Yeah, so depending on what I can work out from here, I might start. I still need my life to get a little more settled, even though I feel like now I've lived in Minneapolis for a long time. It's really only been like 5 weeks. So I'm not quite settled, but I think I may, since I can't really go to a local store, I still haven't found one. I'll just try to go to regionals and play Vanguard and doing those kinds of events.
Yeah, in Hawaii.
Well, not this year. I can't go to Hawaii, but maybe next year. So, you want to come?
I'd love to come.
All right, then we'll figure it. Well, you're gonna be married at that point, so gotta get permission from your wife.
I say that because I have to get permission anyway, but that's fine.
The other news is Alan had a baby. That's why he's not on the program tonight.
He did.
And it's a cute little baby. So congratulations to Alan on that. So now he's got 2 babies.
2 babies. They got great names too.
Well, Oscar's still my favorite. Don't tell Adrian. Oscar will always be my favorite. So
yeah.
Oh well, too bad. And then the last thing is in referring to our discussion from last week's program. I closed my bedroom door so that Scrapple could not come in, and he literally sat outside of the door and screamed his head off and scratched at the door. So I could not sleep until I opened the door and let him in. So that's what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but like Blanche doesn't do that, thank God. She finally learned how to get up on the bed though, so that's
You need to start creating that pup.
Oh, I create her every night, but I gotta get up like every 4 hours and let her out, and like the last. There's no point in creating her for an hour before I have to get up and get ready for work, so I just let her.
Yeah.
She usually falls asleep right next to our bed on my old pillow.
Oh, a good puppy.
He's so good.
All right, I have not watched the cartoon. Can you give me some highlights? Something. What can I look forward to?
We learned what Isabel does for the most part. Not like all the specifics, but that's essentially.
She runs the town when you're busy, like sleeping or going. She does all the administrative tasks while you're out pulling flowers and picking fruit from the trees.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. Though I feel like she's like the head mistress of a school, like a principal, sort of.
What?
Vibe. What? Isabel, the Great Nature VR, the Escos.
No, Animal Crossing, dude.
You know what?
That's what you've never played Animal Crossing.
Not yet. When the new one comes out, I'm definitely getting it. It looks super good.
And Isabel is the one who runs the town when you're doing your personal life. And the thing is, her head looks like a bell, which is the currency in the game. That's why her name is Isabel.
Oh, that is super clever.
Oh, I don't
I'll
know
learn
about
it.
no great natures.
I'll learn it eventually. Yeah. So it looks like Isabel. She does the whole milling thing just like Leopold, except she has the ability where I think if you're either your opponent's grade 3 or you got a grade 3 in your soul or something like that, whenever you mill, you get both of the options. Because generally, when you're taking the top card of your deck and putting it in your drop zone, depending on if it's a normal unit or a trigger, you get a different effect. So Isabel will let you get both of the effects, no matter what. So,
All right.
she's looking pretty
As
strong
long as she's on the field,
on the
or
Vanguard Circle, and we don't know if it's a continuous or if it's an on place, like an auto ability.
okay,
We don't know that yet, but
interesting. All right. I think you got something wrong with the old card of the day. Or was this Alan who put this together?
yeah, it wasn't me.
All right. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure original was only available as a reverse unit.
No.
All right. And then I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, there's both.
Okay. Well, this is your dealio,
Oh,
so
okay.
go for it, dude.
Ice Prison Necromancer Cocytus, original. The grade 3 Skelly Bro, 10k power. He has Limit Break 4. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gets power plus 5,000 to end of that battle. So it's a 15k attacker, baby. Woo!
For no cost.
No cost. Just have to be almost dead. Its second ability is Counterblast 2 on place on Vanguard Circle. Pay the cost, choose a Grand Blue from drop zone and call it to your guard circle.
Counterblast 2 to call one card from your drop.
Yeah, that's not nice. That's also like old Grand Blue. So like any kind of revival was great. That's good. I think it's not the best limit break that Grand Blue has. The best one's probably Captain Night Mist and Plagueton, that combination, the 7Cs stuff. That's really good.
Yeah.
But I still really like the card. The art's super sweet. The reverse art is super sweet too. He's just a really cool dude.
Yeah, Cocytus is for a skeleton, he's somebody I'd hang out with, definitely.
Yeah, he's got those
All right,
big old
so
rings.
our newest Cocytus, the one that came out a couple months ago.
Yeah. Love this one. So this is Ice Prison Necromancer Cocytus V Series. He's a Skelly Bro still, 12k power with a Protect gift. So on Vanguard Circle, if your drop zone is 10 or more, he gets 10,000 power. But if it has 20 or more, he gets 20,000 and critical +1 instead of the 10,000. So the number, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like, once again, no cost power up.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And the amount is literally the same as Baskirk was if you maxed out Baskirk's skill. So that's pretty sweet. Actually, I mean, if you had Baskirk and you called it Valkyrion from your drop zone, you get it's plus 5 for every one grade, so it's plus 25, so it's 27 plus another 5, so it's
so now you're telling me I gotta get 4 Valkyrions.
Yeah, sure. I don't think you'd want to do that. It's a waste of a card in this deck. But anyway, second ability is I'm gonna paraphrase it because the way it's written is really confusing. But you counterblast 1, mill 4, you'll call 2 cards to your rearguard circle. If you have a grade 3 in your your soul, you get to call another card for every grade 3 in your soul. So you can call, if you rode on top of another grade 3, you get 2 from Cocytus' just regular ability. Then you get to call another one because there's another grade 3 in your soul. So I really love Cocytus so much. You're kind of stuck without it. You're definitely stuck if you have to ride Gold Dragon. You can kind of maneuver around and do some stuff if you're on Baskirk as your first ride. It's not the end of the world. So, but Cocytus is definitely what makes the deck run. Although you got to be careful. Milling yourself for 4 adds up after the second one. So you got like 2 good ones, and then anything after that, you're chancing it. So it's usually good to kind of mill to the point where you can get Baskirk out, and then kind of sit on Baskirk until you can eliminate your opponent. So anyway, that's some Grand Blue stuff.
All right, so I do get 4 Valkyrion per Nita Shinamon
Yes.
trial deck. So I only need to buy 1 trial deck.
Correct, yeah. Yep.
But will they all be shiny?
No, I don't even know if one will be shiny. Well, I hope one will be shiny. But I don't know. I haven't looked into like a pack opening or, a deck opening of that to see how they're distributing the foils. I think there are select cards that can be foil, but not everything like previous ones.
Maybe Valkyrion isn't.
I don't know.
It seems like people are finding such creative ways to put Valkyrion into decks that aren't the Genesis decks. I'm like, wow.
It's really cool. Like there was one I saw, it was a Nubatama one where it uses Megatsu Storm, Obero Cart, that grade 0 that double or adds the power of a unit to its power, and then Valkyrion, so you use Megatsu Storm, and then you call those 3 cards from your hand, and then you use that grade 0 to copy Valkyrion's power, but then Valkyrion can't exist on Rearguard Circle, so it's retired. And then you've got Obero Cart, which will double a unit's power, so you can get a 150k attacker. 150,000, attacker.
Nice.
It's really convoluted. It takes 4 cards to do. Probably will maybe only happen like once in a blue moon, but it's a really...
I don't know.
It's a
like
fun
the combo.
thing. Yeah, it's cool. Also, there's like one thing in news, and it was just they showed the new, was it EB12? The one with Shadow Paladin, Aquaforce, and Narukami. Showed a couple of extra cards that were going to be in there. I don't think they're new, but I don't remember. They might still be like the retrains, but...
Didn't they show some art for a set that's coming up?
Yeah, that one. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yep, that happened.
So they haven't revealed the cards. They just showed the art for the cards.
The art and the names. So that's where,
Yeah, that doesn't get you too far. Except for everybody who's going to start, who wants to play premium, that's now going to buy up all of the support for whatever those cards are supposed to be, and then find out later that support actually doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh.
Okay. So this week we're getting, what is the set that has the Neo Nectars, Gold Paladins, and Great Natures? Is it like the Evil Team Euclid or?
No, it's something about fortune, Mysterious Fortune or something like that.
Mysterious Fortune. Isn't that a movie? Wait, no, that's Outrageous Fortune.
I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah.
Anyways, so we got to see some Neo Nectars, some Gold Paladins, and some Great Natures, because they're slowly trickling those dudes out.
Yep.
And then Cole, what you and I had been talking about, which I'm a little unclear on one thing, is for the first release of Neo Nectar, which was last year at about this time, that came out in the it was the Idol Group Ultra Rare, the Ultra Rare set. With my beautiful angels that still hate me. The Neo Nectars in that they were only plant token. Correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So now we're seeing a split because they've revealed a plant token kind of support build and a Mousketeer support build.
Yes.
So they're kind of splitting the clan into the 2 different subclans. So the plant token one, which you wanted to talk about, is really now based around Arboros.
Yes.
Or, well, I don't. The names of the cards are confusing because they're different creatures, but they have the name Arboros in their name.
Correct. Yeah. Same thing as like Blue Wing, but it's Arboros.
Yeah, but like style of Arboros Oliver, it's what? Like style, like stylus, the thing that you poke at your screen with?
No,
or
it's style, like fashion.
but who? So who is Arboros?
Arboros is, I don't think it's one, like it's supposed like, the main thing is it used to be a ride chain, right? I'm pretty sure it used to be, and they were all Arboros Dragon, something, and then everyone else was like something Arboros something else, but they weren't all Arboros Dragons. So it kind of plays off that, like.
Well, Oliver's a Bioroid.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you wanted to talk. So these the two reveals we have formation of style Arboros. We've got Arboros Dragon Timber. Or wait, is it more like the Katy Perry song? She did a song called Timber, didn't she? No, that was Kesha.
Kesha and Pitbull.
I don't listen to that kind of music, folks. If it's not Ockerville River or Bon Iver, it's not gonna pass my ears. But they do. So you're basically saying that the concept of plant tokens has now changed.
Yep. Drastically.
So what's going on here?
Okay, so if a thing says create a plant token, it means the 5K plant token that we had before. There's a new kind of plant token. This is called Plant Token Arboros, which is like an Arboros form of it. That's the 10K shield, 10K intercept that can boost and can intercept as well. Or 10K guard, shield, power, whatever, you know what I mean.
So are they printing specific plant tokens that are Arboros plant tokens?
Yes, they are. And on the plant token, it says, this represents a plant token that was enhanced due to a card's ability and cannot be put into the deck. It has boost and intercept.
Oh, interesting. It's like they're taking the token concept to a whole new level.
Yep. So, like, they think they evolve the plant tokens, or they specifically call a certain kind of plant token the Arboros Dragons. Like, in the anime we saw, it happen like once or twice. But what was really weird though is they called a Mousketeer Sylvia out, or she rode Sylvia, and Sylvia created a 10K10 shield, an Arboros token. So, okay, that's why. So we talked about it before, I think. Oh no, I'm just gonna jump to Timber. Arboros Dragon Timber is a grade 2 Arboros Dragon. On the Vanguard Circle, I'm gonna read its ability. When placed, a plant token you call the next time this turn is called with grade 0, power 10K, shield 10K, critical 1, and has boost and intercept. So the Arboros Dragons are the ones that create the plant token, the Arboros ones. Like, they transform into that.
Okay.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, because the style of Arboros Oliver, the only thing, you have to choose. You either call 2 plant tokens, which are regular plant tokens, or you can retire 2 of your rear guards to give it plus 20 it's plus 20 power, plus 1 crit until end of turn on a grade 2. On a grade 2,
Vanguard or Rearguard, which is kind of interesting. But like, this could still work with Timber. So if you were on Timber and then you called Oliver, then Oliver would create one of the new tokens, and then it'd also create an old one.
Yeah. Interesting. So you basically have to have both types of tokens in your little token stack.
Yep. People who thought that they could just replace them, nope. You gotta have both of them. They are different things. So, like, whenever something says create a plant token, you create the original 5K power one. But if you have Arboros that says, you're going to change it into this one next time, then you have to do that.
The boosted plant token.
The boosted plant token, yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. All right, so Mousketeers, I don't remember what Mousketeers used to do. They were kind of like the original Neo-Nectar deal.
Yeah, I'll tell you what they did. Check the top X, call Mousketeer,
basically
shuffle.
Gold Paladins.
Yeah, they were, and like you shuffled forever. I remember I watched someone play it, and they were shuffling like 5 or 6 times a turn. It was insane. So yeah, like the new ones, they care about calling Mousketeers. You get
so your deck has to be as fully Musketeer as possible because you're looking at Peony Musketeer Tour. You're looking at 3 cards from the top of your deck. You're calling out 2 with Musketeer in their name, and then you put the rest. So you put the other one that you're not going to take on the bottom of your deck. So that's not a shuffle.
No, it's not.
Peony Musketeer Martina. You are looking at 5 cards and calling 1, and then you do shuffle. That's a once per turn. Why does that seem so much worse?
It does. It has a pretty good rearguard ability, though.
Oh, because it doesn't have to be a Musketeer. There you go.
Yeah.
That one can be anything. So Torre needs to be a Musketeer. Martina does not need to be a Musketeer.
Probably still going to be a Musketeer, though, if we're honest.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And you get to look at a lot more. It's a Soul Blast.
Yeah. Blast. And then the other one, the Anthurium Musketeer Gaston. The main thing is it gets a 10k power boost, but only if it's placed from deck. So if it's placed from hand, you don't get the power up.
Yeah, the only good thing about this card is its name.
That it's a Musketeer?
It's a Musketeer. That's it.
Well, it's also Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, so if you're into that old Disney slop.
Gaston.
All right. So that's the Neonectars. That's our split in the Neonectars. Great Natures, are they doing anything? So, Great Nature in the V era. Let me understand this. It's like Granblue.
Yes.
That it's milling and it's throwing stuff into the drop zone.
Yes.
But rather than calling things from the drop zone back out onto the field, it's taking things from the drop zone and putting them back in the deck. Is that what I'm catching here?
Not really. It's more like it cares about what it mills. There are a few cards that put stuff back into the deck, but there's not a lot. Yeah, so there's a few selective reshuffle or not what's it called? Putting it from the drop zone back into the deck.
I don't know. Charge it up, babies. Recyclers. There you go.
There's a few select ones, but overall you're just caring about what you mill, if it's a normal unit or if it's a trigger. But yeah, and as of right now, nothing really changes from that kind of play style.
Which was the real binoculus tiger deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did Hammsuke care about milling and stuff like that?
Hammsuke did not. Hammsuke was an engine that you run in the deck. If it happens, it happens. If not, those are still units that you can call or whatnot. Yeah.
So we're not seeing a split on this one.
Well, we might end up seeing Hammsuke become its own kind of thing, because Hammsuke's friend, the first card revealed from this set, really synergized well with the Hammsuke kind of build, where you can selectively put a grade 1 or grade 2 Hammsuke or card really into your soul. So in grade 3 Hammsuke wants both of those in the soul. So yeah.
So it's more Hammsuke support.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see whether it's like a full Hammsuke deck support.
Yes.
And then we'd have a split between Binoculus Tiger and Hammsuke.
Oh, Leopold/Isabel, I think would be better.
Okay. I don't know the names of these things.
Binoculus is the grade 2.
Of all clans, I don't know. This is a brave statement, but I'm like, Great Nature may be the least attractive of all clans. It is like, I don't want to play with animals.
I mean, to each his own. I like what they do a lot, but I'm not huge on the art.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the art is so goofy, and it reminds me of like books that I would read when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I don't want to go back to that point in my life. I'm a big boy now. I can read big boy books.
Yep. that's pretty much all I gotta say. Like, Great Nature's doing a lot of interesting stuff, and when we see Isabel, I think Great Nature's gonna be pretty strong depending on how she works.
Well, and Great Nature, number one, as an Excel clan, was doing pretty good. And then now with Excel 2, I don't know. Are you going to want to be drawing cards if you're going to be milling so much? I don't know.
Yeah, you want that draw is too good to give up.
It's too much?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't take yourself out, kids.
If you need like specific pieces and whatnot, like there you go. Plus, they got these new cards that shove stuff back into their deck.
That puts stuff in. So art member Père Noir was the one that I was thinking of, where you can take 2 normal units. So you're not putting triggers back, but you take 2 normal units from your drop zone and putting them on the bottom of your deck. And then Ceramic Sloth, I think we're not sure of that name. Is that a promo?
I don't know.
So that one, it looks like when your card is put from your deck into the drop zone. Oh wait, from your deck into the drop. Yeah, I'm sorry,
it doesn't
from your drop zone into your deck.
Yeah, I had to read that like 3 or 4 times.
That wrong.
Yeah, it's worded really weird. But yeah, so as of right now, I think Père Noir is the only card that puts stuff back in, but still putting
the only recycler.
Yeah, putting 2 back in is pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Not bad. I mean, in Legion, you were putting 4, and you were real happy about that.
Yeah, it is an 8K grade 2 though, which is a little bit of a bummer, especially in an Axel deck.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still, 8K on a XL2 is 13K, so that still hits. So never mind. It's fine. I take that back. It's fine.
All right. And then the Gold Paladins, we've gotten 2 cards out, Full Cavalier and Decisive Knight Basak. Or no, we had 3, but we didn't care about that third one.
It's super easy. It gets an extra. At the beginning of your main phase, it gets 5K for every card that you have. And
every rear guard.
Every rear guard, but it's a grade 3, and it's got a gift, but that's it, and it does absolutely nothing against.
That is definitely your budget build right there.
Yeah, I mean it could be fine, but. Full Cavalier Dragons, another grade 3. So Soul Blast in 1. Look at top card of your deck, call it, and then one of your vanguards gets 5K until end of turn.
I hate the wording of these kinds of things, because I don't know if it's like just the current translation we have and they will improve it, but it's like, why do you have to look at the top card of your deck and call it to rearguard circle? Why can't you just say, call the top card of your deck to a rearguard circle?
Because there are cards like Amaterasu that, the grade 3, the V1, where every time you look at your deck, she gets power.
Yeah,
so they're future-proofing.
She's not a gold paladin.
They're future-proofing. It's the language of the game. They're making sure that everything works together. Otherwise, Grand Blue's language would be completely different than, let's say, Royal Paladins. So it's a cohesive language. It's cumbersome when you're reading it. It feels like gobbledygook, but it's there for a specific reason. I think it might get a little cleaner when it's translated, but I don't expect that one to change much. Also,
how's about this, Bushiroad? Clean up, like, when you give a promo card for a set, make sure that you put the right clan on the card and don't put a Dark Irregular into the Pale Moons. How's about cleaning up your language that way, folks?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oof. Proof, read. Check everything over. Anyway, I don't know. I don't like this card. You have to look at the top card. You have to call the top card of your deck. It's not up to. You have to call it. And then your Vanguard just gets plus 5K for a Soul Blast. You need that soul in the new Gold Paladin. I mean, the art is absolutely phenomenal, but this card is booty.
Yeah. And then Decisive Knight Basak is another one of these. Well, you don't get to choose with this one, but it is like if you call 2 or more, it gets power plus 5K. If you call 4 or more, and it's a grade 1, it doesn't rest when it boosts. So if you have a restander, you also get an additional.
I don't know if Gold Paladin has restanders.
Or if you refill the rearguard circle in front of it.
Right, that's what they do.
It continues to boost.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
Oh, it's a 5K power.
Well,
But
maybe
still,
there's
no, I mean, still.
wait, no, because you get both effects, so it's 10K.
Oh, yeah,
If you've
sure,
got four or
yes.
more, it's a 10K booster,
Right, yeah.
and it doesn't rest when it
Yeah.
boosts. So it's
That
just
could be lethal.
completely boosted.
Yeah. Good card. I like that one
All
a lot.
right. So then, in terms of, even though it's Golden Hype Week, I will not Golden Hype you.
Cool. Thanks.
Raging Tactics is out.
Yeah.
Spike Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
which has the unique ball toss, move your force markers around mechanic.
Yep.
Tachikazes,
Mm-hmm.
which has the move your equip gauge around mechanic.
Yep.
Mega Colony, which
Heals your opponent.
Well, whatever. That's like
Gross.
Mega Colonies. Like, that's never gonna be good. Sorry, Alan. It's just I know you love your bugs, but
I think Mega Colony might be the best out of that set, but overall, I don't think it's doing anything really to the meta.
Yeah, because nobody wants to play them. That's like nobody trusts that Mega Colony, like, which is the poor man's Link Joker, or was the poor man's like that is they're never going to be good. Nobody wants to believe in them.
Well, I mean, then Ghidorah came out, and then everyone was like, "Oh,
for
yeah."
5 minutes, Ghidorah was the hot stuff.
I mean, in Premium, Ghidorah is still a really good deck. So
yeah,
I think
we've both established that neither one of us plays Premium. So
well, I was gonna say I think that Bugs is like one of those deck or clans that is just so much better in Premium than it is in Standard.
All right, I could see that. That.
I think it's really the only one I can think of. I guess Dark Irregulars as well is a lot better in Premium than it is in Standard. Grand Blue too, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, and was it Chicago or Atlanta where they had the issue with the finals and Dark Irregulars?
It was Atlanta.
Yeah, so we talked about that, and that was it was the skill. There was some confusion and misinterpretation of the skill of not was it No Life King? No,
No,
it was a critical trigger.
The Premium Collection critical trigger.
So in one of the finals matches, and we've had some discussion about this in our Discord, but the attacking player declared their attack, said this is what the power level is, and then the guarding player declared their guard, making it clear that they basically didn't have a perfect guard in hand. And after the guarding player declared their guard, the attacking player said, wait a minute, if I put this critical trigger into my soul as part of the attack, I get another 10K and another crit. Something like that it does.
Yeah, that's what it... No, it does not another crit. It goes into soul, another 10,000 power, and you draw a card.
And you draw a card. Mm-hmm. Okay, and... the judges allowed that to go through, or
they allowed it to go through,
which just, I mean, from my perspective, that's kind of not fair.
So I'm gonna let you finish, but I've heard a different opinion.
What have you heard on your side?
So Alex Wilson, the guy who got the highest placement in my locals, had this exact thing happen to him, and from what I recall, it was the reason that he quit going to official Bushiroad events until the Atlanta one that just happened. But essentially, there is no, like, he's just throwing out numbers. He could be lying too, like, unless you're checking it and they officially say, all right, I'm done, are you going to guard this, or your turn to guard, or like declaring that his attacking step is done and is moving towards your guard step. Your opponent can throw out whatever numbers and do whatever they want.
Yeah,
very scummy,
true.
Very not cool, but it's a thing.
So the real problem is, and this is also something we talked about in Discord, and I don't go to a lot of events for other card games, but like at a Magic pre-release, people are pretty good about talking about what they're doing and why they're doing it. Right. And then making it clear, especially when you're playing Commander, right? You're being clear about what your phases are, because there are so many cards that can go off in various bizarre phases that you really have to make it clear to your opponents. I am moving from this phase to this phase. And one of the problems that I've always had in playing Vanguard, and especially with, better players, is they just assume you know what their cards are doing, and they speak very little.
Yep.
So then it becomes that opens this huge area for, misinterpretation, or you think that they've already finished declaring their attack and they haven't finished declaring their attack. So you start your guard step and you've now exposed yourself. And it's like, what would it have taken to say, is that your full attack, right? Or are you done? Can I guard now?
Yep.
But people I almost feel like Vanguard players feel like if they do that, if they speak that they're not as good of a player, right? That they're exposing that they're. But I mean, that's obviously it's not true. Just because you're talking doesn't make you a bad player. Yeah. Just because you're being clear, and it's like. It's almost like a psychological tactic of like trying to trick your opponent into doing something wrong by just not communicating. And I really feel that takes away from the game.
Yeah, or like because you're not communicating your opponent, it's like more difficult for them to keep up with you. So they don't know
exactly.
if you're they don't know if you're cheating or whatnot. Which like I hate that, especially when it's against like a deck or a player that I haven't played before, and they're just like silent doing their own thing, and I'm just like, God, I sure hope he knows how to play this deck.
Like, well, and also it's like, how can I catch you in like when you've made a play error?
Yeah.
If you're not telling me, so I can say, wait a minute, your card actually doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you've done something multiple times per turn, and I'm like, no, that's actually a once per turn.
Alan with glance. Yeah.
Oh, geez, you said it. I didn't say it. I was going to be nice because the dude had a new baby, but
hey man, he ain't
dag
here.
nabbit.
Gloves are off when he ain't here.
Oh, good gracious.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's really unfortunate that it happened, but it's legal. It's not a cool thing to do at all.
Yeah, it's like in that gray zone of what is legal is not necessarily fair or like fair play or honorable play.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, if you're really just playing these games just so you can win at all costs, why? It's not a game anymore. You have literally surgically removed the fun of playing card games. I played card games to be social and to be around people and to talk to people. And if I've now turned it into something that creates barriers and it's like builds enmity with people, it's a perversion of what I actually came here to do. That's where Gize comes from. This is what happens, kids. Then Gize shows up and black goop comes falling all over planet Earth, and what are you gonna do?
I feel like Gize was just them trying to be cool, like Bushiroad trying to be cool. But then, like, the player base kind of took it and ran with it.
I don't know.
But, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. But those people
other thing...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, just the other thing that you wanted to talk about. I mean, I don't think we need to belabor Atlanta. People will have their opinions. It's Vanguard. Everybody's going to have their opinions. The only place where people have more opinions, I'm sure, is Yu-Gi-Oh!, but I haven't looked into that mouth of madness. So we're seeing... Okay, so... The other topic that was put in was the select your skill cards. We had one select your skill card, which was the Arboros.
Yeah, the Oliver.
Oliver. What other one have we seen? Because I know we mentioned one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, shoot.
But like they're becoming a little bit more common.
Yeah. So what we mean by that is, and this is actually pretty common in Magic, where you have cards that say, like, when you pay the cost or when you meet the condition, do one or the other of these things. Or sometimes they say, like, do one or all or as many of these things as you would like. And then it has various skills that you can choose from. So, I've seen ones in Magic where it's like, choose one, everybody discards a card, or everybody draws a card. right? And then you pick.
Yeah.
So I find that interesting. Usually I feel what that supports is like different deck builds, and it's like one card that will now work with different deck builds, as opposed to I'm going to be in a particular play situation, and in the sense of what I just said, like having everybody discard a card is going to be more advantageous to us, but on my next turn it may be more advantageous to have everybody draw a card. Right? I don't see that happening as much. Especially with Vanguard where the builds are so tight. It's like there's just such little flexibility in what your deck build is going to look like. When you go to Flavortown is where you lose.
Unfortunately.
Which Cole is the expert at that.
Mike the shipwright.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think there was more versatility, or there probably is more versatility in Premium. There's also a larger card pool to select from. Sure. But maybe Selecta Skills is going to create more versatility. I don't know.
I really hope so, because I think they do a lot of cool things. Like with Oliver specifically, you got one just that creates 2, then you got one that destroys 2, and then gets super chunk of power.
So, and that's cool. Like different turns, you can choose different ones, and that's more of like in that situation, which is the one that's going to be more advantageous to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's pretty plain to say, like you don't play Vanguard because you enjoy creative deck building, right?
Well, you don't play Standard at least.
Well, yes, yeah. But like if we were going to do a chart of which games support the most creative deck building and which have the least creative deck building, it's like Magic, most of those formats, maybe not limited, but like the other formats, it's like get as creative as you want, buddy. You know that secret card that's nobody else has realized is out there.
Yep.
And it's got a huge card pool. Get as creative as you want. Go for it.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh might be like the most creative because it doesn't have like restrictions on deck building for the most part.
Yeah, but it's got all the archetypes and everything is built against archetypes.
Not necessarily, but
I don't know. That's what I always hear. People always refer to decks by the name of the archetype that they're built around. I don't ever hear people just saying, "Hey, I threw these random cards together."
They do. There are some decks that do that, but like there are some that restrict based on the name, but like that doesn't mean that you can only run those cards. Like you can a very common thing is you mix and match archetypes so they can get to your goal. And plus almost all of the extra deck cards are all generic, so it doesn't matter what build you're going. Like a good extra deck card can be ran in almost every deck. So
yeah. And then I would say like Pokemon is definitely a step back. Pokemon TCG is a step back from that level of creativity. It's like in the meta decks that are out there, you can tech in 1 or 2 cards. Maybe there's like 4 card slots worth of your creativity, but beyond that, the core of any Pokemon meta deck is going to be the same core for everybody playing that same meta deck across the board.
Yep.
And anti-meta decks very rarely succeed in Pokemon.
Catterday? How could you forget Catterday?
Yeah, that did real well. And then I'd say like coming down to Vanguard, right? There's just especially Vanguard Standard, right? There's just very little creativity in the deck builds. Like you might occasionally have one stroke of genius of like 1 or 2 cards that you put in there, but fundamentally you're all of the meta decks are going to be the same. And then the trade-off there is what you're giving away in creativity in your deck building. It puts more towards your skill at playing the game, judging your opponent, determining what the attacks are going to be, and like shaping around, your trigger checks and everything like that. So it's more of focusing on the gameplay and strategy than it is on the deck building. So it's kind of like falls more in line with chess, right? With chess, for as long as chess has existed, the pieces have all been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's coming up with new. Here's the sheriff piece, so I'm gonna swap out my knights for sheriffs, and they move differently. No. So then it becomes your skill at playing chess and reading your opponent and the choices that you make. So that's a tangent that we didn't expect to talk about.
It was a good one though.
Interesting topic of discussion. I have been talking all day today, so I just whew, that you get that train rolling. It's hard to get it to stop.
Remember how we were talking about maybe Hammsuke is gonna get some new cards?
Did it just get a new card?
Yeah, it did.
What did it get?
Hammsuke's classmate, Mechanical Pencil Hamdon.
How many classmates does Hammsuke have?
He's got a big class, man. There's a lot of people. He's a tiny guy.
Classy dude.
Grade 3, 12K. Axel, once per turn, when your other unit enters an additional rearguard circle, -1, put a card in your hand into your soul. During this turn, it gets power plus 10K. If you have 2 or more additional rearguard circles, draw a card.
So you're going to double draw.
You're going to double draw. Also lets you put a card into your soul.
Another Hammsuke's classmate that lets you put something into the soul, which gives you that soul correction which Hammsuke needs.
Yeah.
But
what's interesting is this card wants to be an early and a later ride, which is very interesting. Although it's Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, so there is that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've now got more than half of a deck that is Hammsuke support because we're at 20. No, how many Hammsuke chain cards are there?
3. There's 3. There's one for each grade except for 0. And then there's 20. that first one, so there's 5. So 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 plus the 16 triggers.
So we're at 36. So now we've only got 14 left.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which would be 3 with 2 wiggles. Well, are you doing draw perfect guards in Hammsuke?
I would assume so, yeah. You want that versatility. Right. Or not, I don't know, because maybe you want more fronts. Have an all front thing. I don't know. There could be a lot of things to do with it.
So I thought our question last week was what was a time when you made your opponent super salty from your actions?
Yes.
And then so the best answer was from Curtis, who said he double healed on an Overlord turn and then triple crit the person.
Yeah. Turned around and then triple critted him on his turn.
Rule sharks are no fun.
Yeah, there was the first person who responded. I just read it. I think it's Haley.
Okay.
They said that whenever I have it open. Let me just read it.
Go for it.
Here it is. So, yeah, Harley, pardon me. Salty managed to pull off the instant win of original deleter Igorg. My friend tried to rule Shark out by saying it wasn't at GB2, didn't have enough vanished delete cards, etc. So that was one. That's always not fun.
That's not rule sharking. You've got to have 13 vanished delete cards, and you have to be at GB2. What?
Yeah. So they're making sure that all the conditions are met. And
okay, but that's different than rule sharking, where it's just over interpreting the rules.
Yeah, that's true. And then
Mewwill. Gear Chronicle?
Yeah, Mewwill said that whenever Gear Chronicle was really bad in G era, whenever he would flip over his starter, his opponents would just get super upset and then walk away.
Yeah. There were times when I just I saw a Gear Chronicle game and I was like, I don't want to play this at all.
Yeah.
Because you just have so much advantage just by playing Gear Chronicle.
Yeah. And they take an extra turn.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the painful one. I think for myself, when I made an opponent the most salty, was, well, and I do this, right? So I put myself into this own situation. So it's happened more than once, but I very frequently will make the unsafe bet, which means like I do my first trigger check, my first drive check, and I get a trigger. And it's like, I need 2 triggers in order to actually have this go through. And I'll be like, well, I could do the safe thing and put that trigger on a rear guard so that they have to guard more on my next attack. Or I could just put everything on the Vanguard and see what happens. So obviously it doesn't happen a lot, but I do occasionally get, like, I've done, especially with like Messiahs and stuff, where I got a triple crit and I needed to have 3 triggers for an attack to go through, and like I'm like just laughing, and they're all mad because it's like, it's not supposed to happen that way.
I will never take that bet.
I know, it's so unsafe. I know, Cole, you get people salty because you just play so slow. Yeah, that's true. I also remember there was one time that I did come in first in the shop tournament. It was basically off of the you know how you do the weighting in Swiss of like your opponent's results actually impact your standing and everything. And it was because of that. That's the only reason I came in first, and like some dude got real salty about that.
Yeah. I know it's happened before, but I just like laugh it off or just don't pay attention.
Yeah, that's true. I also remember there was one time that I did come in first in the shop tournament, and it was basically off of the you know how you do the weighting in Swiss of like your opponent's results actually impact your standing and everything, and it was because of that. That's the only reason I came in first, and like some dude got real salty about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen salt around me tons of times, especially against certain clans. I think that's the most salt that I see is around certain clans when they're playing, because some people just have like matchups they absolutely hate.
Yeah.
And when they see that, that just
like that poor dude who only played against Bermudas at our Gen Con competition. That dude, I needed to hand him a salt shaker.
Well, I mean, like, that's understandable. There was almost half the people there.
100%, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Our question for next week: what do you do to keep the game fresh? How do you Febreze your game? Do you play other games? Do you play in different play groups? How do you just keep it fun and exciting for yourself? And then I guess Alan wants us to remind people again that you do not need to create a Squarespace account in order to post answers. You can just be a guest and post as a guest. Is that correct, Cole?
Yep. You just sign in as a guest, then it'll let you choose a name, and you're good to go from there.
All right. So we are at the time in the program where we do not do Golden Hype Week because somebody complained. I'm going to say this for a year now. Please review our podcast on iTunes. I will look at the reviews shortly, and we'll probably read them out on the program at some point in the near future. Thank you to Zach Boydis, who is angry with me right now for our intro music, and Jeremy Woods, who is not angry with me right now for our outro music. Patreon, patreon.com/drivecheck. Throw us a buck. It really helps us with prize support and travel and all that kind of stuff. Cole, we should actually do something for our patrons and send out some swag for 2019. We've got cash for it. So
okay, cool. Because
you have some. We may actually be at the point where we can afford drive check playmats for our supporters.
What about custom sleeves?
Sleeves wear out. Playmats are forever.
Well, no, that's the opposite.
Sleeves last forever?
They don't all last forever. Like,
then again, double sleeve your cards, kids.
Yeah.
If you look on YouTube and search for Drive Check, you will find our content, and soon you will see the creepy Alan Camacho unpacking. What do you call those?
Pack opening vid, unboxing. Yeah.
Yeah, unboxing vid. And also, you can visit our website where you can post answers to the question of the week, drivecheck.net. N-E-T, drivecheck.net. If you want to send us an email with just general commentary about how awesome we are, about how you found out about the secret location around Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they do play Cardfight Vanguard, so that you can finally let me know where I can play some Vanguard, because I really, really would like to play. drivecheckpodcast@gmail.com. On Twitter, you can reach us at drive_check for the program in general. You can reach me, William R. Anderson, directly at Wash in the Sink. Our complaints department, if you have any complaints about the program whatsoever, is at drive_jack. That's DRIVE_JACK. Send all your complaints there. All right, Cole, what's the rest of it?
I am at Cole_McCune, COLE_MCCUNE. I gotta get ready for this one. Gotta prepare them tables.
Oh, no.
Right, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Drive Check Podcast. Evil will never prevail. Reward the good and punish the evil. The death blow, hell stand.
That's Mr. Invincible.
It's Mr. Invincible.
I've got to say, it's probably a Nova Grappler.
How did you guess?
Is it a new card or
no?
an
I think
old card?
I think it's an old card. Pop it up. Take a little look. See.
What's a hell stand? Is it like from the original Kamui trial deck that my mom has?
No, it's from BTO 1. Oh yeah, no, wait, it is from that trial deck as well.
It was also in the Kamui trial deck. Yeah, but his flavor text in the trial deck. Oh no, yeah, because he was reprinted in Extra Booster 04. What a crummy card.
Justice will always prevail.
Oh wait, he's got an auto skill that's a counter charge?
Soul Charge 1. Choose a card from drop zone, turn to face up.
As an auto
damage
skill.
On, yeah. Ooh.
And then a Mega Blast.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that. Anyway, actually, no, I think that attack hits. Stand all of your units. Oh.
Wow, that's an old Nova Grappler chestnut. So
he's like All Might, but as a
weird robot dude. He's an alien. He's not a hero. Yeah. He's an alien.